Hello again everyone and welcome back to Landric Plays. Today I am going to be playing a little bit more Banished, and yep, here's our little settlement. We've still got these sort of wooded forest areas. We're still building over our main little town here. So let's unpause things and watch what all our little people are doing. So they're gathering some more resources over here. It's a little bit rainy. Hopefully that's alright. Luckily we've got lots and lots of nice coats still. Our tanner's still producing lots. We've got some more houses here. We're putting down a couple more as well. Good. They both have the resources they need. How many builders we got? Yeah, we've got loads and loads of builders, so that will be fine. In fact, we can probably take a few away from there soon. Yeah, there we go. So I'll just dip that down a little bit. In fact, yep, we've instantly got some people living in there. So I might even let's go ahead and put some more houses down. Because we've got plenty of food. At some point we are going to have to make the leap from wooden houses to stone houses. Now it's a considerable difference. Look at that, it's 40 stone instead of 8 stone. And we don't actually have a lot stored, but I mean there is all of this over here. So I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to put down a couple more wooden houses like this. There we go, 2 more of those. And then we're going to designate a whole bunch of this stone. And then probably we're going to convert some of these over, because you don't have to like knock them. Well, you sort of do have to knock them down and start again, but you don't have to do it manually. There's a little upgrade button here that'll kick everyone out of the house and upgrade it. So there we go. There's a couple of people still wandering their way around here. Oh, there's a load of stone here as well that I've already designated. Alright, that's fine then. So we're going to have loads and loads of stone. Perfect. Oop. The school is done. Brilliant. So, I think I've mentioned this before, but the school will educate your citizens' children. So the children, instead of joining the workforce, will spend a couple of years studying in the school. So when they come out, they'll be more productive. They'll be more careful as well. They'll be less likely to die in like work accidents, which is good. One thing you've got to be aware of is if your teacher dies, then all of the students immediately go back to being labourers. So if you're trying to go for one of the achievements where you get, where you have to have 100% of your population educated, that can really affect you if you don't have a labourer to immediately replace that teacher. So once I've got a school up and running, I tend to have at least 1 or 2 labourers, like at all times, just in case that happens. We're also going to want the trading post pretty soon, in fact, because we're going to start to want, well, we're going to want to start selling things and eventually buy some cows, maybe, some livestock, or perhaps some seeds, so we can start like proper farms. Maybe a big farming area over here. Yeah, we'll probably put another little town here, but fill it with farms. Let's see, let's put down another road here so I have an idea of what things are going to look like. So this should keep our builders busy, so all 4 of them should be working on this. So they're not going to have stone, but that's fine, the builders will just act as labourers while they're waiting for that stone to show up, which means they'll generate more stone, which is brilliant. So what are we going to do after this? Well, I think we're still probably going to focus on expanding this area of the town. We could go back and put down another sort of woodland community somewhere, but I think it's time to start properly expanding the town right now. Let's up this herb limit. So we've only got 1 person working there, and this should supply the town quite nicely with all of the sort of medicines and things they need. Oh, good. So, ooh. You're out of hide. Interesting. Or you're out of leather, rather. Maybe we should... So we've got plenty of labourers. I think we increase all the way up to 6 hunters. So that will bring in more leather. It will also bring in more food, which will let us expand. Tool limit's 50. Keeping a supply of 50 tools is probably fine, but what I'm going to do when this finishes is maybe dump some in there, so that we could sell them. It'll give the blacksmith more stuff to do, and in an emergency we can take them out of here before we sell them and sort of put them back in the economy, if you like. Let's see how our school is doing. So we have 2 students, brilliant. So there's 27 children in our settlement, so a lot of them are going to sort of grow up and become students as well. A school can take... how many can it take? Is it 30? So in which case we might need another school fairly soon. Let's add a vendor here. So the vendor's job is just to collect whatever I tell them to put in here for when the trader comes. They don't have to worry about making deals or anything like that. Firewood is normally a very, very good trade item. So where are we? We're in late spring, so we haven't got much firewood left over, but also we've got plenty of time to accumulate more. So I'm even going to put 200 in there. I'm going to put... I'll drop it down to 20 of our tools, just because we don't want to go crazy right away. And what else have we got that we could trade? Well, let's trade some of these herbs. And we'll slowly increase these as we go. Brilliant. So not all traders will accept all goods, so it's good to have a bit of a spread. And not all traders will sell all goods either, so we'll have to hope we get lucky. Our builders are idling because they've got nothing else to do. We could build the town hall. It's nice to sort of have that record, but again, it's probably a bit too early for that. So let's stick a couple more houses down, and in fact, yeah, let's start on producing stone houses. Have I... That's a bit of a shame. We're going to have one gap there. But that's fine. It's not going to bother me. We'll just put another road here. And then maybe we'll put a well down here, squeeze that into this spot here. So that is going to take up a lot of our stone, I think. So we're probably going to want them to go and grab a fair chunk more, though it looks like they've actually gathered a lot of this. Okay. Maybe then we need to start looking into putting down some quarries. And I think, yeah, actually, now probably is a very good time for that. So where do we want to put down our quarries? So if we look at the resource production, here we go. A quarry is quite a big thing. It takes up quite a lot of space. And when it's out of stone, then it's out of stone. It just becomes a big hole in the ground, and it's quite unsightly and ugly and takes up space. So I generally try and put them somewhere out of the way. Perhaps this will be it. Perhaps this will be our sort of quarry spot, and then we'll put the farms over here. Yeah. I like that idea. We'll do that. And then we can put some mines in all these mountains as well. So people are going to sort of walk around this way. Because I want to... I tell you what, I'll put down a mine here just so I've got an idea of where it can be placed. So it looks like we can't actually get one here. So I'll pop it as close into the mountain as we can. I'll put that there. And then pause it, and then we can see where the quarry fits. Alright, so the quarry can go there. And because it's a bit of a walk, I'm going to pop down... Where are we? There's our dirt road. So we're going to sort of aim to get this just around here. There we go. So we've now got a road going all the way around there. At some point we might upgrade this to a cobblestone road just because it's quite a long way. Also... okay, so one of our stone houses has gone down. There you can see it's lovely and sort of... That's going to keep everyone toasty warm in winter. I'm going to pause... I'm going to pause this one because this one doesn't have any stone at all. It's got the logs and the iron though. But yeah, I don't want to... them to accidentally spread stone across both of these things. So they'll get this done, they'll build the quarry, we'll allocate some people to that, and then we'll worry about... well, and then we won't worry about it because we'll have a nice steady income of stone. We'll have to be careful how many people we allocate to it because we've only got 2 labourers left right now, but some of the builders can probably go into there. Maybe we'll drop down some of our other numbers, or maybe we'll just focus on expanding. Of course, we're going to expand slower now because we've got the school, but hopefully we'll be more productive once that sort of gets kick-started. Food still looks good. I'm not too worried about that, especially as it's the middle of winter. Not that that really affects us right now anyway, because we're not farming, we're just gathering. So our food should remain sort of fairly steady all throughout the year. it'll drop a little bit as each of these houses get built and people start putting stuff in the inventory. So you can see these people have got a nice big stack of food here. So even if this does start dipping a little bit low, everyone should still have their own little sort of personal larder, if you like. Our market's doing quite well. It's 30% full already. People are sort of dropping off all the hide coats and the iron tools, which are mostly getting produced around here. At least the coats and the tools are. But all of the food will be sort of produced in these areas. It will be taken over to here. There's a storage barn over here as well that keeps some for the people that are living around these little community bits. So that will be fine too. Nice. Oh, and here comes a trader. So let's wait for them to arrive. A merchant has arrived at the trading post. Fantastic. Let's see what they're selling. Whoop. Oh, we have to click on this. Okay. So we can trade, and they have corn seeds. Now, seeds are ludicrously expensive. They're 2,500. Well, we don't use money, we use barter, but that's what they're worth at least. So let's see. If we said all of the firewood and all of the tools, then that's not nearly enough to afford this right now. So unfortunately, I think we're going to have to dismiss him for a bit until we've made a larger stock of tools and firewood and stuff that we can trade. So that's a bit of a shame, but you know, it's how it goes. Chickens are a lot cheaper than seeds, so maybe we'll get lucky next time we get some chickens and we'll be able to afford those. Okay, so he's going to sail off down the river. Let's go back to the inventory and let's... So we don't have any... Well, we've got barely any stored firewood, so I'm not going to change that, but I am going to up the iron tools. We'll take some more of those. Brilliant, our other stone house is going up. Is the quarry done? Quarry's nearly done as well. So this is sort of the... I don't know what you'd call this, the sort of lever and pulley system, like the foreman's tower, maybe? And it starts off like as just this flat area, but as people dig it out, it will they'll slowly sort of dig into the ground and come up with, or go down with, a big hole. So once our builders finish those, so there we go, the house is done, so we actually have a surplus of builders. Ooh, the reserve of logs and firewood and tools is low. Well, that's fine because... Okay, it's not fine. Let's take that down again. Let's put 20 tools back into the sort of pool because somebody was out of a tool. Firewood is low because logs are low. So our foresters here are still going to produce a steady supply of logs. Let's up that log limit, because why would we ever not want logs? I might even add another forester at some point. But I think what we're going to do is... Yeah, we don't want to add another forester because we want to add a couple of people to the quarry. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to order people to, in fact, clear cut all of this. All of these resources here, and that lone tree. Somebody's going to have to walk all the way around just because I accidentally designated that. But that way we'll have a nice big buffer of logs again to make firewood and to construct stuff. Because if we're going to put down a bunch of quarries here, we're going to clear cut all of this anyway, so it might as well go now. Still got piles and piles of iron lying around. We've still got some in the stockpile, so I'm not too worried about putting down the mine just yet. Iron isn't used in a lot of sort of early buildings, but you use it a lot more later on. So if we take a look at the thing, this takes 48 iron all by itself. See, you've got all the logs you need, so I could unpause you actually. So yeah, let's do that. We'll try and increase our population a little bit. The food's going up, which is good. Here we go. We've got a family here. Brilliant. So this is going quite nicely. So I think I'm going to focus still on putting down more houses rather than upgrading these ones, but eventually, when sort of this area is saturated, I'll probably go back and upgrade those later. We're at the firewood limits, so I'm not going to drop it too much because otherwise they'll go and cut all of the logs that we've just got, but I'm going to take 100 of this. I know it's early autumn, but everyone will have some firewood in their homes still. So yeah, they've got 100 just by themselves, so they'll be fine. And we've still got 200 left in the stockpile, so that'll be okay too. That's going to drop in a second just because somebody's going to put some in here. Ah, interesting. So we've not... this house hasn't actually been occupied straight away. Okay, there we go. So it took a couple of ticks and then some people moved in. But the fact that they didn't suddenly and instantly occupy that says to me that we can probably slow down on building our houses now. Oop. We do have 3 builders and nothing building, so is there anything we want to build? Could build a hospital, but let's not worry about that right now. Could build a well, but we're next to the river. And we're not dense enough that it's going to be a big problem, he says, right before imminent doom. Chapel, super expensive, it makes people happy, but we don't need it. A cemetery actually might be a good idea. So when people die, people become sad. Having a cemetery sort of lets people sort of grieve in peace. So yeah, maybe we put down one of those. Maybe we put it in this block here. Or maybe we put it sort of just outside the town radius. Oops. Yeah, we'll put a cemetery down sort of on this side of the river. It'll give our builders something to do. It doesn't take many resources, and it'll keep our town sort of happy. Where was it? Here it was. Hang on, let's put it here. So we'll put down a fairly large one. Then again, actually no, let's move it this way a bit, because that way they'll be just outside the radius of the town, so we can put all of the houses here, which will still be covered by this, but it'll still be close enough that everyone can use it as they need to. Oop. So that's, here we go. 18 by 18, that'll do. And we'll put a couple of roads around it. Hang on, I've just got rid of all the builders, haven't I? So I'll have to put a couple of those back. I'll just have one person build it, that'll be fine. We'll add 2 more foresters. Start getting a steady stream of logs coming in, that'll be good. So here we go, you can see our quarry's already got a slight dip in the ground where they've sort of carted out all of this stone. If we go to this, we can see, so far we've gotten 8 stone out of the ground, fantastic. Hopefully that will sort of go up more substantially as we add more people. But like I say, I want to keep a stock of labourers just in case the teacher, just in case something happens to them. We're at our tool limit, in fact, I tell you what, I'm going to up the tool limit to, not that much, double clicking by mistake, there we go. Put it to 100, and I'm going to add another 40 to here, so we're going to have 80 in total. How many coats have we got? What's the limit on our coats? You still don't have any leather, I'm surprised. Maybe we do need to start that forest community, maybe we'll do that at the start of next video. Because yeah, I'm going to up the limit on this as well. I'm going to say I want 100 coats. Partly because we've got more population, so we've got, how many in total? Don't do math on TV. About 50 something people. No. Yes, about 50-something people. 53 people. There we go. I made it in the end. So I'm going to up the clothes limit on that, so we've got a good supply. And do I want to put some of the coats in here? I think coats are relatively valuable. Obviously they're more valuable once you get sheep and you can make nice toasty warm wool coats, but hide coats will do for now. We've still got 20 in the stockpile. And then yeah, we'll sort of expand this again, put down another hunter, get some more leather so we can make even more coats. Right, that looks pretty good to me, I think. How are you getting on down here? Clear cutting these trees. Oh, you know when I said it doesn't take many resources, I may have been wrong there. It may take quite a lot of stone after all. But luckily, ooh, hang on. So luckily there is some stone just here. So let's gather all of this stone as well. We might even, well, no, we don't need a second quarry, we just need more people working in the quarry, but we do have a merchant here, brilliant. So what have you got to offer? Walnut seeds. Still can't afford walnut seeds. Well, let's just see how much we've got here in total. 20. Ooh, we're getting close though. Now I could just dump some more of these things and make it up to 210. 2,500 rather. But I'm not going to do that for two reasons. One, because then we'll probably be running out of firewood and tools and that'll be a problem. And two, because we're actually kind of stretched thin, I'm going to want to put more people on the quarry before I worry about putting more people on the farms. And we've still got plenty of food. I'm not worried about sort of running out. Eventually, as we do start expanding, we'll need more and more sort of high-intensity food production. But especially if I'm going to put down another hunter's cabin for just for the leather, then I think we're going to get more food as we go on. It's something we're going to have to worry about next episode, but for now I'm going to dismiss this guy. And yeah, I think we're well on the way. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.